Day 2 of Transform Your Self-Image with Laura J. I wrote the whole message to go out this morning last night when my computer was too full to save it, and this morning I woke up to a fresh slate without access to that which I had wrote last night. It's frustrating to lose work already done, yet part of the journey of transformation requires going through the dark night of the ego, where we will be stripped of all statuses, titles, and identities that have made us feel more or less than we actually are, so we get back to being real. The dark night of the ego requires us see how the ego directs our emotions and gets us going. Go! And once we go beyond that surface level of identity derived from external sources, we get back to the dark light fight of the soul, which is where the battle of principalities comes into the frame fully. We've been warned of the spiritual battle of principalities that's playing out now for as long as any of us have been alive as this version of us. But few were expecting that to have anything to do with the position we take within our own written or spoken sentences. What this means relates to the phrase commonly added to notices sent by freedom fighters trying to remedy the treasonous acts being passed by public officials working on behalf of corrupted unidroit usufruct de facto corporate governments. That being, notice to agent is notice to principal is notice to agent. Principle, by definition, is a general scientific theorem or law that has numerous special applications across a wide field, serving as the foundation for a system of belief behavior or a chain of reasoning. A principle is a kind of rule, belief, or idea that guides you as some kind of basic truth that helps you lead a more moral life. The principle of the story governs how everything in your story works together as a design principle to set the tone, plot structure, theme line, story world, and character arcs, which reflect the transformation or inner journey of a character over the course of a story. This relates to the major arcana of the tarot, which tells the story of transformation all characters go through as we move through the hero's journey, and return to where we started, knowing it from a different vantage point because of the awareness we are able to glean from our lived experience. This also relates to the first, second, and third person pronouns used to shift our place in the story, and what the implications of these subtle shifts are for the ones living the sentences being written by the hands of other men and women if we aren't writing our own scripts. The first-person pronouns me, my, myself, us, ours, ourselves are all descriptors that keep us as the principal storyteller in our own story. Second-person pronouns like you, yours, yourself, yourselves move us into the position of other than me, which means there are now two or more people in the scene being referred to as you or yous. Third-person pronouns like he, she, it, them, her, his, its, theirs, himself, herself, themselves, itself have become popular in recent years as the next generation are programmed to refer to themselves as a third person in their own story, so they don't question it in more serious matters. Within the legal system, the third-person position is referred to as the legal person, debtor, surety, bondsman, or one who pays the price in flesh, blood, and guts if the man or woman doesn't know how to protect themselves from such a harsh sentence against the person implied to be us. We have a person just like we have social media accounts, bank accounts, and other interfaces to interact with fictitious realities and domains that we create profiles in so we can access them. But to assume our government identities, our person, are any different from these accounts is foolish. In order to maintain our proper place in our story, we've got to recognize that a pronoun can be used in place of a name to refer to someone specifically. So it's important to comprehend how pronouns are used grammatically and how third-party pronouns actually reduce our power to craft new sentences drawn with our own hand as the first person in our own story. Take your power back in this basic way and take some time to write out a list of all the places where you have derived identity from belonging, membership, or affiliation with a group body previously. It's it's possible. There remains energetic cords that are keeping your soul tied to them. This list will play a vital role in the reclamation of your soul's sovereignty in the coming days. With love and respect, Laura J. Namaste. That was day 2's email out of the 66 Days to Transform Your Self-Image series. I am sending to those subscribed at ljeh.ca, as well as via Patreon, which is patreon.com/ljeh. So, my initials are where you can go in order to get access to these transformational blogs that are designed to guide you through the sacred sojourn of the soul that you are on as you become more whole, instead of just only focusing on the hues of you, when we are the ones who must take first place in our own story once again. So we're going to be doing that together in the days and months to come, because after this one, there's going to be another that's going to actually be building the next playlist, the third of its kind. If you haven't listened to album22.com yet, that's album22.com. You're going to want to go and check out the 22 songs on album 22. And then you can also link in to see album 22 Plus, where we've got another 22 songs, because these are efforts that we already put in. And now we're using the momentum to leverage all of those efforts in order to create another album where we can promote all of what we've already done, as well as that which we're going to be able to do together by coming together, which is why you're invited November 10th and 11th to come out to Blackstock, to Soul's Path Retreat Center, where we're going to actually be having a casting call on Saturday, November 11th from 2 till 5. That's a public meeting. It's a public invitation. It doesn't have a cost to it. But when you come, you are agreeing to be one of the originals that are willing to step forward and be your authentic self. You are being called to be real, and there's an acronym for that, as to how we heal by feeling through all of that which we didn't know what to do with before, and now we do, because we have come together and we have skills in between us, if only we can be connected and find those skills, those gifts, those opportunities for us to shift, because we choose to rift and drift with the magic of the moment that's all happening right now. Where we are, where you listen to me be in my now, you are in a different one, but we are sharing it now because I did it now. For this is how my effort up front gives you access to this message anytime you wish for it, and me too, because I do go back and listen to my messages too, in fact. Sometimes, yeah. And I always have to review them before I post them, and especially if there's editing to do with it. So I want you to know a lot of effort and work goes in to you getting access to what you do. So please know that your subscription to the channel, to being a Patreon, to sponsor me, $5.55, just to let me know that you appreciate receiving value from my efforts. Or you can do $22.22 per month, which is actually going to gain you access to the membership, the mentorship, the mastermind rather, which does have an element to mentorship. There's group coaching calls that we can also be part of. And then there are opportunities to do card pulls, because why not use the tools that we have access to, and why not create some ourselves too? For that is what I believe that we are called to do, and will be. So the album will actually be one creative endeavor. A calendar will be another. Tarot cards will be another. If these sound fun for you to get involved with, why not do so? Why not? That's the question we've got to ask ourselves. And in fact, I have a really significant story about why not that I will share tomorrow. For today, I just want to say thank you for showing up. Thank you for being interested. Thank you for being willing to engage in an opportunity to stretch and grow you into a bigger and better version of you, not necessarily bigger in volume, but in terms of the expanded heart. Thanks.